I believe that the times we live in this era of our human existence, I think now more than ever, one of the most important things we need to try and develop more, let's say as a skill, is really critical thinking capabilities. I just think, for myself personally, I would say I'm an older millennial. I was born, in the early 80s. So having had experience growing up living in the age of when the internet was really just getting going, but not really a huge part of my life as a kid or adolescent, right? The computer growing up in the 90s was still at that time used as a tool, right? It was used as just, a lot of just inputs and, it wasn't really a part of my life as like it's all throughout my day that I got to be incorporated with it, right? I mean, this is such an unusual time, I feel personally in history, because, for myself, growing up at that age and that time, I didn't have to feel any sort of identity with, what the internet has now eventually become and the social media platforms, etc. And look, there's a lot of good use for those things. The amount of knowledge that's out there that we can understand, share, and learn is incredible. The way in which we interact and can have instantaneous access to things all over the world and people and information, everything, I think it's great. What I'm trying to get at more has to do with the way in which I think, and I'm just kind of relevating this from my own personal experience and perspective now, going through a 90s decade, the 2000s, 2010 to 2020, and now we're in 2021, there's been absolutely huge evolution with how technology has really impacted us, right? On both social level, psychological level, many different levels. And again, I want to reinstate, I think there's a lot of good to that. But for me personally, and this is just my perspective, I think there's a lot less, let's say, debate or critical analysis about situations or just topics of the day, and I think we need more of that, and it's healthy to have that debate. Okay, so what I mean is there's a particular issue on the table, and you have several different ways of looking at it and trying to understand it and apply it into your own life or into a discussion with other people. I think we got to look at what all those issues are, what they mean, why people might understand them a certain way, why others might not, and just really, in the end, in a way, calculate all these things and then come out with our own insight or opinion about it, right? But considering several different takes of it and pulling apart the good, the bad, the not so comfortable, whatever it is, but really critically think about it. Really critically think about what the meaning behind that issue is, right? So why am I saying this? Because the thing is, I feel just personally that there's too many situations where people are only influenced by their perspective of life, or let's say topical issues, just purely based on a feeling or emotion, right? And I think, especially with rapid advancement in technology, rapid information just thrown at you each and every time, just rapid imagery from platforms and everywhere else, I just think the inundation of so much information and knowledge, I just think that it's swamping our brains, that we just don't take the time to step back and really reflect on what's being presented in front of us, right? I think, look, there's good to what these things from technology have brought us, but I think where I really encourage people to, as best as you can or you want to, just apply more of what is being presented in front of you in a very sort of analytical way to understand the comprehensiveness of the situation, of what you have in front of you, and make a very more profound, informed idea or decision on it. Because I really think that there's so many things that are not black and white in this life, and we just have to round ourselves into these issues and really immerse ourselves into what the potential of something presented in front of us could do or impact another thing, and understand it comprehensively like that. I think it will lead to a better way for ourselves, give us more tranquility on our perspective, but also when we engage with other people, right? And the reason I keep bringing this notion up of me, growing up in the 90s and things like that, is the reason I say that is because growing up during that time, and I just remember, being younger during that decade, is that I just felt like a deeper sense of clarity, thought, and independence with, just, I guess, socializing only in person to people, doing a lot more, general activities outside. It was just a different dynamic. It's hard to explain, but I'm guilty of all the use of what we have incorporated into our life as well now. I mean, absolutely. So, and I'm trying my best to really stay more and more focused on the way I understand, especially really profound and important issues, and see all the aspects of it, right? The thing is, we have so much that is thrown at us, and sometimes we're just like, oh, this is too much. We got to throw it to the wayside, right? And we have to really decipher certain things that are good reference points, really, really go deep into them and understand them in a very analytical, critical way, and then create a positive, informed decision on it. And if there is disagreement with other people on whatever it may be, we try to empathetically work with them and each other, and come to a really good outcome. So that's my thing. That's my insight about critical thinking, and just way of analyzing things, and ways in which we experience the world together. And in the end, I think we just try to do our best, really understand each other as best as we can, and through everything, just do everything with love, as much as we're absolutely able to, and that we want to. I think it's important that we just understand the way in which we are fundamentally connected. I believe that there is that universal idea or truth that we are connected, and we go through these sort of life games and experimentations to understand how that is, right? But hopefully in the end, we just come to the conclusion that despite our differences, that we can do the best we can and just really embrace each other for who we are. So let me know, do you think this is an important topic? Do you think it's an issue that need to have more incorporated into our day-to-day? Please comment below, and I would love to know your thoughts. Take care, everyone.